their own views. And it's the same with these new energies. Many of us here in this room probably respond to these energies. If you believe in oneness of all people, or the underlying unity of all religions, in compassion and service to humanity, true brotherhood, or advancing understanding, harmony, and peace, then you are a member of this new group of world servers. Whenever old meets new, as I said before, there's always going to be this clash of values leading to chaos and conflict. If you look at our current political system, you see an excellent example of something like that, where some new positive energy is coming in, and there are forces that are fighting tooth and nail to hinder these energies from coming in. And this is the worst. This and worse, actually, is what we have to look forward to if we don't take matters into our own hands and create the world that we want to see, the world that we want to live in. It only takes a small group of people to make a difference, and the values of the few can become the values of the many. So please, please ask yourself, and I left my pamphlets outside, but ask yourself what you can do to help these new energies to come in, to increase compassion and unity. It's up to you, it's up to all of us to help lessen the resistance to this new energy, and by spreading light and love and the higher values by our example. And Lisa mentioned the Task Force for Humanity, and I do have pamphlets that are out there explaining what we do. And you don't have to join the task force, but it gives you ideas of what you can be out there doing. We had a Visions of a Better World conference last year at Seton Hall University. We began with $0, $0. And we managed, we had to pay thousands of dollars to rent Seton Hall, but all of the money came because our passion, I believe our passion was pure. We really wanted to get the message out there. We had 30 people volunteering, we paid no one, volunteering to come and hold workshops throughout the day, all talking about ways that we can increase our ability to take personal responsibility for making a better world. We can all do that. I know hopefully the message, just takes one little thing, random acts of kindness. Anything that you can do to make the world a better place. Just smiling at someone who looks like they're dragging. All kinds of ideas. So I will bring my pamphlets in. If you're interested in the task force, please contact us. We'll be happy to accept new people, or just get some ideas from it. Go to the website, look around, and thank you very much for your attention.
The harmonic convergence opened the gateway to these new frequencies on May 5th, 1987. There were 2 awakening periods that happened during that time. There were 2 in the 90s, and then we had one in 2000 that lasted to 2004, another one that began from June of 2006 that is currently still moving into. From now until May 10th, we have the energy of the Phoenix coming in. This is going to create even more chaos. Those who have raised their vibrations, who are sensitive, are going to feel these energies. We have a lot of energy healers out there, but it's not what you carry. You are a conduit for bringing in the Christ consciousness, to bringing in these new rays, to help healings, to help people who have physical ailments. What it does is it jump-starts the healing process within your own body. When we're born, your organs, your cells, your blood, everything has an optimum vibration. Everything carries vibration and energy. The plants, the animals, everything on this planet, the ocean, water, everything. However, as you grow up and you go through life and you've got pain from school, you've got pain from parents and brothers, sisters, and friends, these vibrations come down. As we get older, it moves into the physical body and creates illness. Voices is going to be bringing that education out there, and we also need help. We need help with people to join us and financial, volunteer, anything. So I just want to leave you with that. Rita.
Hi everyone. My name is Rita, and basically my little niche in the group is how do we bring all of these wonderful gifts. I mean, we are obviously becoming more and more aware ourselves, but my niche is about bringing that to our children. And I'm a mother of 4, and I'm a very religious person. I was raised Roman Catholic. My husband, before I met him in law school, was in the seminary for many years, so we have kind of a missionary background, the two of us. And we got together our first year in law school, got married after law school, and have 4 very beautiful children. But it's actually my children that really brought me to the higher level. I always prayed a lot and tried to do the right things, but it was my oldest son, Jason. He was in 1st grade, and we just moved into the house that we're in, and one night he said to me, "Mom, do you have a picture of Pep?" And Pep was his grandfather, my husband's father. They're French-Canadian, so Pepere was his name, and he passed right before Jason was born. And I had a lot of infertility problems at the time. My father-in-law was dying of cancer, and my husband and I, because we didn't have any children, took care of him. And initially wasn't very happy with infertility treatments. Thought it was against the Catholic Church and that whole thing. But on his deathbed, he said to me, "Rita, when I get to heaven, I'm going to find your baby, and I'm going to send that angel down." And I always knew he'd do that. Took a little time, about a year, but I did get my angel. And I always felt that from the time he was born, he was handpicked by Pep, is what we call him. And always been a very special boy, and even people who don't really understand the word old soul would say, he seems like such an old soul. He came out like really knowledgeable, and although he was born at 33 weeks, didn't need any kind of medical attention, he just really a fighter right from the get-go. But where I really saw his gifts come in was he was in 1st grade, he was 6 years old, and he was sitting in his new room, and he asked me for a picture of his Pep. And he said, "Since we moved into this house, you haven't put out our pictures." I had no idea why he was asking, but I ran, found a picture, brought it back. I said, "Here's a picture of Pep." And he said, "Yeah, that's him." So I'm like, "Yeah, that's him." And he said, "Yeah, well, that's my special angel." And I said, "Oh." He says, "I have a lot of angels that are around me all the time." He said, "Most of them I don't know who they are." He said, "But this one looked like a Regin ball." And Regin balls, if you know them, very distinct characteristics. These big blue eyes, kind of big ears, not all of them positive, but Regin ballish. And he has been to enough family reunions by this point in Canada, he could identify those features. And he said, "Well, there's a lot of angels around me." He said, "But this one looks like a Regin ball." And he goes, "I always thought it was Pep, but I wasn't sure." And I really didn't know what to say, because being very religious all these years, I've never seen anything. Didn't necessarily feel anything except some love and compassion, just very much on the physical. I'm an attorney by training, and kind of maybe caught up in that physical world. So I didn't know what to say, but thank God I was inspired not to say, "What the heck are you talking about?" and get freaked out. And I just said, "Jason," he goes, "Mom, don't you see them?" Because I must have reacted like I don't see them. And he said, "Don't you see them?" And I said, "Jason, I don't see them. I think I might have when I was younger, but I know they exist. And you're a very special boy, because you have been prayed for 8 years before you were born. And Pep had always told us that he was going to find you and send you down. So I know that Pep is your special guardian, but that was my confirmation, and that was what brought me into the spiritual. So what I do in my little mission that Lisa has helped me and guided me for so many years now is to take my religious background, my children and the raising of my children, and to bring that to try to help everyone. It's not easy to be a good parent. It's not easy to be a good mother. It's not even easy to be a good mentor, but you try. And these kids, we don't want them to end up like Michael Jackson, who is a highly gifted, sensitive, beautiful human being. But look at him. He tortured himself. He mutilated himself physically, emotionally, probably spiritually. Because look at, he had all these wonderful Deepak Chopra and all these other people that were around him, but obviously no one was able to get through to him. So I guess my niche is just to, from a really early age, connect with the children, whether they're your own or other people that you might be around. I also teach, CCD, very traditional, but it's a way of getting to children who, let me tell you, very few children have any background with God, Jesus, whether you're Catholic, you're Jewish, whatever you might be, or however you connect. We all connect by being good people, being moral people, being loving and compassionate people. And what I try to do with my own children is, and this has obviously gone on for many years, is to teach them love of everyone, charity, not being afraid of the gifts that they have and who they are, so that they're confident. So they don't have to be those indigos that can't fit into the world. My children, all straight A students. Some of them gifted, like very highly intelligent children, but they don't have a problem being who they are, because it starts really with the people who are raising them and who love them. So I try to take that with my own children, and believe it or not, my children's ages right now are my oldest 12, turning 13. I have twin girls that just turned 10, and my youngest who's 7.5. And those children are teachers in their own right now. They teach their friends. Because they're so comfortable with what's right and